Why spiritual guidance can be a key to your success in today's life. We're going to talk. Hi, I'm Elemi from Yeyeo Botanica. Welcome to your spiritual home. And if this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. On our channel, we talk about spiritual lifestyle and African spirituality. If you're interested in any of those topics, stick around. But first, I want to shout out all my people from Portland, Oregon. Woohoo! Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing our videos. We so appreciate it. Today's video is about why spiritual guidance can be a key to your success in today's life. We're going to talk a little bit about spiritual guidance. What is it and how it can help you? And of course, you know, I've got some sweet things along the way. So let's get started. So I thought a little bit about, why is spiritual divination really helpful for people? Why are people getting readings, right? Looking for information, seeking divine guidance from your source. There are many people who have made spirituality, getting spiritual information, really demonized. And I'm not really sure why. I think that some of it is fear and some of it is ignorance. But if a person's in a church, as an example, and they talk about, speaking in tongues, well, what's that? If you want me to make a video about that, definitely comment below. Or if someone comes to bring prophecy, the prophet said something, right? There are times where I give prophecy. Where does that come from? There's nothing that happens in the world without the creative force, divine energy, source energy being a part of it. It's not something from another planet, right? The source has given us all of these ways of being, access to this information. And some of that information can only be derived through going through certain rites. So for people who are ordained or initiated as priests or priestesses in various traditions, they have the mandate, the license to be able to give and to use certain types of divination tools. In a different video, we're going to go through some traditional tools that you will see, divination tools you'll see, in addition to in the Ifa Orisha tradition. Please definitely look out for that video. But for today, we're going to talk a little bit about how can getting divine information be helpful? How can it give you direction? How can it help to take you from this place to this place, right, in your life, and how you can maybe use that information not only to help yourself, but to help your loved ones. I think today in the world, people are very obsessed with how to get ahead, how to combat issues, how to be better. Ancestral wisdom, sacred wisdom, divine information is something that is accessible to everyone, no matter what walk of life you have, no matter where you live, what your ethnicity is, background. There is some type of divination system in, I would believe, every country or every group of people. In modern day, a lot of people we know about tarot cards. We know about spiritual reading, just channeling information, right? We know about palm readings, tea leaves, runes, oracle cards, right? Some people read tobacco smoke, incense smoke, water scrying, reading cowrie shells called dilogun in the Orisha tradition, getting Ifa readings, on the board of Ifa and with a babalawo, right? There's so many ways to get divine information, but different information's at different levels, right? So there's different levels that information can be sought after. Today's video, I know you guys are getting really into this part, but today's video isn't about the different levels of divination. Again, comment if you want me to talk a little bit about that in a different video. But just kind of giving you a feel that different information is at different levels and also different views at the same picture. And so when you go or someone goes to get divine information, I just want to pause here and give you a little sweet thing. Information can be gotten for children, infants, teenagers, seniors, adults, Gen X, Gen Z, millennials. It doesn't make a difference who you are. Information can be given to you about yourself. Right? I've read children, teenagers, 20-year-olds, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-year-olds, read all different ages from all over the world. People are seeking guidance. And for you, if you've never gotten any kind of spiritual guidance except for in a dream or except for in your deep intuition, then I encourage you to explore that without fear, right? I'm not talking about just going to places where there's no way to corroborate who the people are. I'm not saying to believe everything that you hear. I say inspect what you expect. There needs to be some proof of what you're being told in some way to make sense to you. If you sit for divination and none of it, absolutely none of it resonates with you, then I would say that maybe you want to get a second opinion. But that's already a reason to share with you why spiritual guidance can be very helpful. There are times people are having a lot of challenges and they need some guidance on how to break out of that, how to make a breakthrough, how to destroy anything that is causing them blockage or strife. There are times people have health concerns and they want to know about how they should go forward. I want to just pause here for a moment and tell a little quick story, right? So I had someone who was having a lot of health concerns. The family was very up in arms. They were like, oh, we got to figure out how to help them. But the person really was not acting like they were ready to help themselves. They wanted to kind of be led. They just kind of were like a lump on a log, not really doing anything. And everyone around them was just so caught up with this health crisis that they were going through. So one of their relatives came to me and said, I'd like the person to be read. I read them, and the first thing they were told was, you need a second opinion. You need to go to another doctor who is a specialist. And they talked about the type of specialist that the person needed and where the doctor would be. And the person was actually going to a particular doctor for a while and kind of just kind of making it work. So after Spirit gave this guidance, not only did this doctor lead this person to some good care, but also led them to other people, other services that the individual needed. So I give you an example. Someone may say, well, divination could be really dangerous and it could be this and it could be that. Well, in this case, it prolonged this person's life because the person had terminal cancer. So I want to share with you that this can be helpful to almost anyone. Another person, I'll tell you that part in a minute. So if you're a person who you're thinking about getting guidance, but you've never gotten guidance from anyone, or maybe you tried out a couple different people and you're not really sure what type of guidance to get, I'm going to give you a quick tidbit. If you're a mature person, get guidance from a mature person. If you're young, but you're mature, still get information from a mature person. The more mature the reader is, the more extensive your information will be. The less mature a reader is, the less extensive your information will be. And so just keep that in mind. I give you an example. If someone has not had a lot of life experience, then how then can they tell someone to, I don't know, get a position or get a job that they're making 6 figures and they've never made 2 figures, right? Or if a person's never lived on their own, how can they tell someone and give guidance on family issues, right? So these are, I'm just giving quick tidbits on things to keep in mind when you're thinking about who to go to. Also, look at what the person's background is. If you're a religious person, then you may want to go to someone who has a religious context that they can identify with where you're coming from. If a person is really New World and it's all about the party and about hanging out and everything is light and everything is easy in your life, and that's what you're looking for, then find people that fit that as well. So keeping in mind what is the context of the person that you're reading with is very valuable, because if not, they can't identify with where you are in life to give you information to level up, because spiritual guidance is about leveling up, right? So I want to share with you that spiritual guidance breaks a lot of stereotypes. And remember, in this video, I've talked about different kinds of readers, prophets, getting prophecy, getting prayed over, different people who have different tools. I mean, you could even get information, spiritual information, that becomes intuitive from just someone on the street. That's a form of guidance. But if we're talking about being really, really intentional about what you're looking for and how this can be helpful to you, then you need to also organize what it is that you want to know. We're not talking about dreams. Dreams, of course, is a great way for spiritual guidance, because your own higher self, your Ori, is tapped in and in alignment and in tune with the ancestors, divine wisdom, right? Deities, angels, and so on and so forth, depending on your context. How can people succeed with getting spiritual information? As I mentioned before, if you're an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, you want to have guidance on where to find clients, how to find clients. Spirit is very helpful with that. If you're a person you're an artist and you want to share your work, Spirit can give guidance with that. If you're a student, the list goes on and on of how Spirit can be helpful to giving information that can help you to level up. It's great for decision making. Do I go right? Do I go left? Do I go this career, that career? Do I move into this place or that place? Do I relocate? Do I not relocate? What do I do for my child versus what I don't do for my child? How do I deal with co-parenting, right? How do I deal with health concerns, money concerns, family concerns, and so on and so forth. And it helps you to know how to act with clarity and guidance. Those are two of the main things that I would have to say that spiritual guidance brings to your life. Clarity and guidance. Because once we have these things, it's easier to act, it's easier to accomplish, it's easier to receive. And lastly, I want to say to you, this is a call to action. This is a call to action for you to look at how you're receiving divine guidance, how you're receiving information. Remember, different levels of divination comes with different mandates, different licenses, different initiations for some people. A babalawo, priest or priestesses, versus someone who just opened a book and started tapping in to be able to give information. And the more information people give is the better they are at giving it. So again, think about people based on their experience, their age, where they are in life. Are they successful at what they do? And so on and so forth. So I hope this video gave you just a kind of a taste of some things to think about as a person who may be seeking spiritual guidance, curious about it, or just want to understand it a little bit better. In a different video, as I mentioned before, we're going to talk about what some of those spiritual tools look like and some of the expectations that you may have with using them. Remember, focus on the good, focus on the good, and ashe, ashe, ashe. Definitely look out for my video on divine timing. We're going to talk a little bit about the source and how it comes in alignment for you.